Coming up, the Broward Fair is back in town. See what rides, games, and classic attractions are in store. Eat bread and lose weight. Sounds too good to be true, right? This bread is made like it was thousands of years ago and is healthier for you. Then personal trainer Gwendolyn shares tips to keep seniors moving with less pain. All of that and more is today on SoFlo Health. Hello and welcome to SoFlo Health. I'm Hunter Frankie, and like many of you, I'm still feeling the effects of Thanksgiving gluttony, and that's okay. Today on SoFlo Health, we're going to show you what you need to do when you overeat, whether it's from Thanksgiving or just, one of those meals or weekends where you're going to lay on the couch, do nothing, and eat, because that's all right. Don't beat yourself up. One over-the-top meal isn't going to ruin your health. This is a great time to assess where you went wrong and what you'll do differently next year. Probably nothing. But it's also a great time to stay tuned to some SoFlo Health as we recover from our T-Day troubles. In honor of Hanukkah beginning this evening, let's look back at a kosher vegan bakery who wants to help you lose weight with bread made from an ancient grain.
I usually start the day with the tea first.
Okay.
Then I get into the bread. And as you notice, this is cistus tea, which is very, very good for diabetes, thyroid issues. Right. And then the green tea, which is the kicker of it, which is a very strong antioxidant. The two of them together to help in so many different health benefits.
And why do you combine this with the bread?
I had diabetes. I couldn't lift up my arm. I started combining the green tea with the cistus tea, and then knocked out all the coffee. And once that happened, I got rid of the diabetes completely. So all this is inflammation, which always starts in the gut, and this is what's going to help to repair. The bread, the natural sourdough in the bread, again, eating proper and also what not to eat. That's the name of the game. We have a plain bread and everything sourdough, of course. Okay. Plain bread, kamut, and we have sun-dried tomato kamut. You can dip it with tahini or with pita and za'atar, which is with olive oil and za'atar.
Everyone tells you bread is the root of all evil. People lived off of bread from the beginning of time until now. What happened in the process of bread that it became so unhealthy? And we realized you have to make bread the old way. You have to use the ancient grains. You have to stone grind the way they did in the past, and you have to bake immediately after grinding. This allows you to get all the nutrients from the bread, and instead of the bread being detrimental to your health, it actually benefits you and actually gives you a lot of health benefits. This is the real sourdough. Most of the sourdoughs are using commercial white flour, so even though you're getting the fermentation, the white flour they tend to use tend to be very high in gluten and tend to have bromides and other chemicals. Many of them are flavorings and dough conditioners to give it that nice fluffy feel. This is where you get the real old sourdough.
Our bread is the opposite of processed foods. Processed foods means you eat it and immediately, boom, your sugar goes up. Anytime your sugar goes up, we're gonna gain weight. This is the opposite, unprocessed foods. Your body has to exert a lot of energy and it's slow paced to digest the bread. And then what happens as a result, you don't have those sugar surges, those sugar hits that everyone talks about.
Right. Is there anything else you'd like to share with everybody at home?
Come visit us. We love to see. I'll give you everyone a free, mention this show, they get a free cup of the Miracle Tea.
Cheers. Another great way to recover from your Thanksgiving overeating, or any overeating for that matter, is to go for a walk. However, don't make it exercise, because as soon as your legs start burning, that means that the energy is being diverted to your legs to keep you moving, more so than digesting, and we want to focus it there. However, a little bit of movement will help you feel better. So go ahead, take that walk. I'll be right here.
SoFlo Seniors Strong is sponsored by Health Sun Health Plans.
Today we are joined by Gwendolyn, who you may have seen here on SoFlo Health in the past, showing us how to stay young and healthy in the pool. And today we're going to talk about staying young year-round, wherever we are. So Gwendolyn, tell me, what's so important about staying moving as you age?
It's essential to keep on moving as you age. If you don't keep moving, you will start losing things out of your life. So if you don't take care of yourself and keep on moving and keep strong, then you won't be able to do your life very well. So exercise should be about being able to do your life better.
Yeah, and a lot of people will injure themselves, and that's why they stop, and then they say, oh, I guess I just won't do that anymore. And the importance of getting back to doing that slowly but surely is important so that you don't just write that off forever.
Never write anything off forever. I work with people and they say, but I can't do this. And I'm like, listen, anybody can run 5 miles, but not tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow you can walk a mile. Then you can walk a mile and a half, then you can jog twice, then you can do these things. So the way that we're designed is that you put a load on a muscle and the muscle responds and it gets stronger. So you need to find a way to move safely and to move effectively and to also feel like you're doing something. Because if you barely do anything in your life, you are going to barely do anything in your life.
When you say it like that, it hits home a little bit more. What are some movements that we can do to build back? Maybe if somebody says like, well, you know, I can't do a squat. Well, is that true?
No, because getting out of a chair and sitting down in a chair is a squat. So if we're going to squat, for example, if you're going to go and you're going to have a squat, you're going to sit down. Good. To stand up, you load through your feet. You want to engage and you want to lift up your rib cage away from your hips. So as you stand, you shove your feet through the ground and then you lift up.
Oh, lifting my rib cage away from my hips. That's a good one.
Your core should help you stand up. We shouldn't be squatting with our knees. We should be using our muscles. Muscles pull across joints. So we always want to work muscles. We don't want to work joints. And then all of your joints will have integrity.
People, especially as they get older, they almost feel bad about taking their time to, hey, hold on a second, it takes me an extra second here. That's fine. We'd rather you do that than try and be a hero.
Then you're going to have the right line. The right line is going to go through you. You're going to be lowering with the correct muscles. You're going to be standing up with the correct muscles. And again, you won't be abrupt because the body doesn't like abrupt. Anything that you put a load on will come back. It will get stronger. It will feel better. You'll feel better in your skin. And that's what fitness is about.
Yeah, and that's what longevity is all about. Feeling good as you are and feeling like yourself your whole life. So Gwendolyn, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
SoFlo Senior Strong is sponsored by Health Sun Health Plans, Florida's only 5-star plan 4 years in a row.
A trip to the fair and more tips to recover from overeating are right here when SoFlo Health returns.
Artificial.
Oh, there you are. Welcome back to SoFlo Health. I'm Hunter Frankie, and we're recovering from our Thanksgiving overeating and likely turkey leftover sandwiches that you just can't stop eating, and it seems there's still turkey left over. How's that possible? One thing you can do is to continue to drink water throughout the day. You don't want to chug it, but just a little sip will do. When you can remember. Having enough water will help you balance out all of that salt you've been taking in, and it'll keep you from being constipated. The Broward County Fair is back, and it's at its new location in Margate, where the old swap shop used to be, just off of State Road 7, and it's here to stay until December 5th. It's a great way to spend some time with friends, family, or your favorite TV host. So instead of just talking about it, let's head inside. The Broward County Fair has everything you expect from a fair, like bumper cars, tilt-a-whirl, a Ferris wheel, and tons of fun rides that are sure to get your heart rate going. Speaking of rides, did you know that electric bumper cars and Ferris wheels have been around for over 100 years? Well, they have. And those bumper cars still don't steer very well, but they sure are fun to drive. If yoga isn't your thing, but you still like the goats and you missed out on our episode of Goat Yoga, well, you can just come here and feed the goats for yourself at the petting zoo. Always classic part of the fair. Do you guys like yoga? You've ridden all of the rides, you've seen all the shows, you've played all the games, you've walked around, and you've worked up an appetite, you know what it's time for. The turkey leg. Now, is this healthy? Well, there's some protein content in here. As for this funnel cake, classic, but there's probably no hope. We're not worried about it here on SoFlo Health, though, because we eat well and we exercise year-round so we can enjoy ourselves here at the Broward County Fair, or anywhere for that matter. And, you know, now that I think about it, this will go really good with some Oreos. Fried Oreos. After overeating, it's important not to lie down. Fine. The reason that it's important, though, is because you're missing out on the opportunity to move around a little bit, whether that's going for the walk like we mentioned earlier, or just simply doing the dishes and getting some activity besides just lying around. And you're also fighting against your digestion. When you lay down, food can slowly start to creep back up, and if you're prone to acid reflux, this might trigger it. Today we are at Florida Pace Centers, and I'm joined by Daniel. Daniel, tell us about your experience with Florida Pace Centers.
Well, I'm the brother of a Florida Pace Center participant, and I'm so happy to be able to be here to talk about how Pace has enhanced my brother's life. He's 71, he's mentally challenged. What Pace provides for him is not only social opportunities and helping him with physical fitness, with the love of his art, and with so many other activities that it is such an important part of his life. All the associates at Pace are so friendly and so nice to him. And when you're mentally challenged, that means a lot. Pace is so good in providing his medical care, not only in where he needs some medical care, but in preventive and anticipatory medical care.
What would you say to somebody out there who's looking for care for their loved one?
I trust Pace implicitly, and they have proven over the years that David has been there, their consistency in the most stellar care for him. To be able to care for someone dear to you in so many different areas of their life. Things that, especially at age 71, are really important as the final phase of your life is in orbit.
Sure.
So yes, I have only the highest things, the highest accolades to give to Pace.
Well, that is wonderful. Thank you so much, Daniel, for sharing your experience and David's experience with us here today.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Of course. Let's listen into Steve to find out more about Florida Pace Centers.
Florida Pace Centers is for those individuals that are 55 years of age or older that meet the state's criteria for nursing home eligibility, that also live in our designated service areas, and those for Florida Pace Centers are designated zip codes in Miami-Dade and Broward counties, and then are able to live safely in the community with our services. We provide all medical and social services for our participants, both in the community at home and also in our centers. We'd love you to be part of our program. You can reach us through our website or through our telephone number. We're here to support you and your loved one through their life.
Ponder this over the break. Which of the following roots is great for an upset stomach? A, sweet potato. B, ginger. C, cassava. D, beet. The answer in just a few minutes on SoFlo Health. Before the break, we asked you which of these roots is great for an upset stomach. The answer is B, ginger. From morning sickness to a rough meal, ginger has been shown to relieve nausea and aid with heartburn in many studies over the years. Welcome back to SoFlo Health. I'm Hunter Frankie, and we're recovering from our overeating during the Thanksgiving holiday. I feel pretty good already, so it must be working. If you're like me, you're probably going to eat all of your leftovers. However, if you want to get a jump start on your New Year's body, then maybe take one of these two suggestions. One, give them away. Just give them away so you don't even feel tempted to go eat them. Or two, if you are going to keep your leftovers, break them up into single servings so that when you go to the refrigerator, you can just grab one serving, enjoy the meal, and not overeat again.
MyCare Medical is a senior dedicated physicians group that concentrates on diseases and conditions related to seniors. We're a primary care organization that's led by primary care physicians. We are about to hear from Dr. Nemet, and Dr. Nemet is going to talk to us about her unique approach to patient care. Her relationship with patients is very important because really what you want is to break down that barrier between the patient and the doctor so they open up and give you more insight. What's driving their health? How can we make sure that they cooperate with the care plan and that it happens in a way that's consistent with better outcomes.
I'm now joined by Dr. Nemeth at MyCare Medical. Thank you so much for being with us today, Doctor.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's start off with, why did you become a physician?
My passion is really patient care. I learned that from my mother. Growing up, I've seen her, how she takes care of other people, not only, the family, but me, a stranger. And I really like that about her. I believe she taught me to serve a higher purpose.
That's lovely to hear. People love to have a physician that truly cares about what they do. And what benefits do you think that conveys to the patient?
What happens is when you are a passionate and compassionate person, the patient feel that, and you kind of like transmit empathy to them, and they feel secure. They feel like they can talk to you and fit the care that you're giving the patient according to their needs, according to their lifestyle.
And would you say that helps them feel more comfortable and then helps you do your job even better?
Absolutely. When I have a patient, I spend a good amount of time with the patient, knowing the patient, knowing what takes the patient, knowing what makes the patient happy. Seniors really love their grandkids, so I would ask them about their grandkids and to know are they involved in their life, to see what their expectation in terms of, lifestyle.
Dr. Nemeth's style is a perfect fit because she really breaks down the barrier between the patient and her. And what that does is opens up the conversation so that we can actually concentrate on delivering a care plan that the patient can cooperate with to get better outcomes for their health.
What would you say separates MyCare Medical from other providers?
That's this unique care plan that we have for the patient. We match, align the patient needs and lifestyle to the care plan that we set forward for them.
Well, doctor, thank you so much for your time and what you do for us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. I have to say, it is working. I'm feeling better and better already from all this overeating talk. Now, let's talk about how we would avoid overeating in the future. The biggest part is to listen to your body. It takes about 20 minutes for your stomach to give your mind the cue, hey, we're done here. So if you've already overeaten in the first 10 minutes, it's gonna be a problem for you. How do you solve that? You eat slowly, take your time, chew your food, and your body will do the rest for you. Don't worry, the leftovers will be there next time. Maybe you're feeling motivated to work out even right after you've overeaten. Well, it's a good idea to wait at least 4 hours after a really big meal. You want your digestion time to be your digestion time and your workout time to be your workout time. Even on a regular meal, it's a good idea to wait about an hour to 2 hours before working out. Now, all that said, I think I'm gonna go get some running shoes on and actually get outside. Here on SoFlo Health, we love to look after your health, but we also want to make sure that you're covered when you're in need. Fortunately for you, we have Dr. Amin, Chief Medical Officer of Oscar Health with us today. Dr. Amin, good to see you.
Hi, Hunter. Thank you so much for having me on the show and want to say hello to everybody watching out there.
Now, tell me, why is it important to have good health insurance, especially at this time?
Getting the right preventative care, getting your regular checkups and physicals is vital to your health longevity. And if you're healthy, you want to stay that way. And if you have a perfect bill of health today, life is unpredictable. And you should make sure that you have the health insurance that you need. And that health insurance is giving you real access to care. I'd also say that people who have chronic conditions, you want to make sure you're not delaying your care and are making sure that you're taking care of yourself early on with those chronic conditions.
And these are all things that you take care of at Oscar. Now tell us, what is Oscar?
Oscar is a health insurance company that's been around since 2012. We're helping over 560,000 members across the country get access to great care that costs less. We've also cultivated a significant amount of trust, and we've facilitated unparalleled member experience with our patients. Our member satisfaction is through the roof. Average insurer is sitting around a 3 on most of these member satisfaction rates. Ours is a 40.
Wow. Well, besides your member satisfaction, what sets you apart from other insurance companies?
Well, I appreciate you asking that, Hunter. I would say when we built Oscar, we set out to create the kind of health insurance company that we want for ourselves. We want an insurance company for you that behaves like you have a doctor in the family. And we offer a different kind of health insurance experience one that's completely focused on our members. We know that healthcare is incredibly personal and it's unique to the individual, and there's no one-size-fits-all approach. And that's why we customize our offerings and services to best fit your needs. As an Oscar member, you're not just a number to us. It's personal, and we are there for you in your time of greatest need, and also to keep you healthy.
Yeah, and healthcare can be stressful enough, and you're making it easier on people, not only by having a wonderful customer experience, but also helping them get the care that they need at a lower cost.
Exactly.
All right, well, is there anything else you'd like to add before I let you go?
The only thing I would say is everybody stay safe out there and make sure you get covered.
All right, well, Dr. Amin, thank you so much for your time.
It's great to meet you, Hunter, and thank you everybody for watching.
Good to meet you too. Welcome back to SoFlo Health. I'm Hunter Frankie, and I'm finally ready to go for a run after we've spent this episode recovering from overeating throughout the Thanksgiving holiday. We're so happy to be able to have such a huge meal and enjoy it because we work out and stay healthy year-round. Those leftovers just keep coming, so we hope you take some of our advice and portion them out, that you don't overeat on a regular basis, and that if you do overeat, you take some of the precautionary measures we mentioned today in mind. Now, Elena Capra doesn't have this problem. She looks great all the time, and she makes other homes look great and tours great looking homes. That's a lot of greats, huh? Well, Elena, what's going on later today on SoFlo Home Project?
Hey Hunter, so today we're taking the guesswork out of picking the right wall art for your home. Coming up on SoFlo Home Project, we're going to share expert tips that will have you hanging your wall art like a pro in no time, and it's all happening today at 5:30.
Thanks, Elena. We'll be watching, and as always, you can watch previous episodes of SoFlo Health on SoFloHealth.com. You can follow us using @SoFloHealth to share with us what you're doing to stay healthy. And until next week, it's goodbye and good health, and for me, a good run. Next week on SoFlo Health, functional dietitian Meryl Brandwine shares a snack recipe the whole family will love and helps you pick out healthier prepackaged options. We'll see you then, and for those celebrating tonight, Happy Hanukkah.